niggas are getting, you're scared to take a spider out of the room.
Yeah.
You're not getting surgical on your own left hand or forehead or wherever you take your left butt cheek or your right pinky toe. You ain't doing it, man. Alright? You're not taking no scalpel and pulling it out. But let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Alright? On the day you get some vodka, you take a couple of shots, you feel brave and warm inside, and you do it. Do you think the Lord's gonna be like, oh, well, he pulled it out so I can save him now? The test was never about that. The test was faith, man.
That's right.
The test was, do you have faith? Even though this seems appealing, are you gonna believe in me, man?
Right.
That's where the test was at, man. I'm gonna pull it out. So look, you're trying to fool the Most High.
Yeah.
If I pull it out, then God,
Playing games.
Yeah.
But you know what, right? In Ezekiel 9 verse 4, didn't he say to the angel, go through the midst of the city and put mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for the abominations that are done in the midst thereof, right?
Yeah.
So that mark wasn't really a visible mark. It was an invisible mark, right?
Yeah.
Just like in this time, whether we're going to take the mark of the beast or not, it's like I said, I shouldn't have said it, MOTB. Like, you're spiritually marked before you're physically marked, because things take place in the spirit before they play out in the flesh. So if you're there entertaining the thought of, you know what, maybe I'll take this chip, you're already showing that you don't believe in the words of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So you're already being marked for destruction. And then you finally take the chip. That's just the next step of that chain reaction of events. But it all started in your mind by you entertaining and not rebuking that thought. Because you're supposed to rebuke
Straight away.
rebuke the devil when he comes to you, you know, Satan when he's trying to tempt you.
That's why the Lord had to rebuke Satan when he entered into Peter. When Peter said, Lord, don't go. The Lord was telling them, you know, about
He has to be offered up.
You know, offered up as a sacrifice and going to Jerusalem, basically get put to death. But on the third day he will rise again, right? Peter said, no, Lord, let it not be so.
Can't.
And that was out of his... So Satan played on his emotions, man. You know, Satan tried to get Yahawashi through the beloved Peter emotions, like, oh, yeah, man, Lord, you know, we love you. We don't want you to die and stuff like that. Yeah. Nah, man. It doesn't work like that, man. You know, so what did the Lord do? The Lord said, get thee behind me, Peter. No, he said, get thee behind me, Satan, man.
He spoke to the,
He spoke to the devil, which got into Peter at the time, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing now. So, as you were saying about entertaining the thought, there's certain things, right? You gotta rebuke it straight away, man.
That's right.
Like if Satan comes to you like on some, some faggot shit or some, even this, the juice, man, or the MOTB. If you're there, cause maybe, man, maybe because you know my woman, you know? The kids, man.
Yeah.
You know?
But I've got 5 kids to feed.
I got 5 kids to feed and a roof to put over there. Yeah. Nah, man, the Lord gonna be like. The Lord gonna allow the demons to further, you know, mess with you more, man. You know.
If I may, there's a precept. Right. Salakia, right? There's a quick precept I'm just looking for here. Right, it says, this is Matthew 6 and verse 27, and it says, ye have heard that it is said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery, but I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lusteth after her, have already committed adultery in his heart. Now the reason why I'm bringing that out is because obviously we're going to look at women, we like to look at women, but that whole adultery thing, if you're looking at a woman and you know she's married, but you're still looking and thinking, yeah, but she's got such a nice body and I'd like to get with her, guess what? That thought started in your mind, so therefore when you finally do get into a situation, because the Most High will put it in your way to test you to see how you're going to stand, and you're like, oh, I've got a chance, and then you go and you move to this woman, you commit adultery with her. Guess what? It all started in your heart. That's what we're saying about the whole thing about the chip, right? Because if you're entertaining that thought in your mind that, well, maybe, you know, there's some way where, you know, I can get it, and like the brother said, pull it out at the last minute and I'll be good. You're entertaining that thought. So when the temptation finally comes to you, you're not going to have the spiritual fortitude to rebuke that and be like, no, I'm not taking that shit. That's why it's been so important that we've been teaching what the MOTB is for all these years before it's actually come into play, that now it's coming into play. The brothers who are firmly rooted in this truth are like, nah, there's no way in hell we're going to take that. Let them take our heads off before they give us that MOTB. that's the mindset you got to have. But if you were fucking about and not taking this thing seriously, thinking, oh, there's some other way where I can get out of it and still be able to keep my position in the world, and I'll still be able to keep all the things that I found pleasurable without having to go through the hardship, well, it's not going to work like that. Back to you.
Can't. A little bit more than that.
What was I reading before? Revelation, yeah?
Revelation, yeah.
13. Where did I...
Start from 16.
Right, Revelation 13, 16. And he causeth all...
And as the brother rightly said, this is why at Greatmillstone we put a heavy emphasis on being repetitive with it, man. Alright, you got to be repetitive, because if not, right, if not, as the brother said, when the time comes, man, you're going to be shaky, man. It's got to be, fuck second nature, it's got to be first nature, man. You know, and ultimately it's the spirit of the Lord.
Yep.
You know, we have to pray that, look, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Towards, please, you know, put the spirit on me. When the time comes, I reject it, man.
Yep.
You know, but as much as we can do now, we drum it into our minds, man.
Right.
That no, this ain't the thing to do, man. You know, because it's gonna be, look, it ain't. You see how he's moving with the juice, right?
Yep.
At first it was, you know, it's better if you get it, and this. Now it's a, you know, you gotta be that video you was talking about with Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
We have been patient, and now our patience is wearing thin.
And that's the devil. They'll act all nice and stuff, and oh man, just do it, man. Come on, dude, man.
Yeah.
You know, come on. And then when you like don't do it, that's when the devil comes out. Like,
yeah.
Okay, now you're not listening. I'm gonna force you.
Yeah.
And his bottom teeth shows too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gritting his teeth.
Yeah, innit? Yeah.
You know, hey, that's
like
what.
you said, brother. REI, I don't miss a beat, right?
Yeah, I know.
He had that snare in the face when he said it.
Yeah.
And this is perfect, because he was reading Surah, the 12th chapter. Though he humbled himself and go crouching, before Biden was elected, right, everybody was looking at him like he's the great new white hope. Yeah. They're like, oh, Trump is so terrible, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's on Twitter causing conflict. Yeah, Biden's the hope for the future. And Biden come up like this old little old man, you know, hobbling along like this smile like he wouldn't hurt anybody.
Falling up the stairs.
Exactly.
Yeah, all of that shit.
Everybody thought he was like this cute, harmless little old man who's going to bring America back to greatness. Now everywhere they've got the meme of, what are they saying? Let's go Brandon, which is really fuck Joe Biden. You know, all these people at these sports events are chanting, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden. Well, guess what? That's another fulfillment of prophecy, because what did it say? It says that when this thing goes down, they're not going to regard their kings nor their princes.
Yeah.
So the fact that the so-called king of Babylon, you know, the leader of the so-called free world, his own people are flipping cursing him out.
Yeah, the scripture says there shall be sedition among men, which is like uproars against leadership, man. They're rulers, man. You know, so that's what's happening, man. But read 13 and 16.
Right, Revelation 13 verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
And that's, you see that word, causeth, man.
Yeah.
He didn't ask, he didn't offer, you know, he didn't suggest, you know, kindly advise, because he's got your best interest at heart. He causeth, man. That causeth is a causation, man. He's putting it on you, man. You've got to do it. And now we've seen how he's done it with the juice, right? How much more is he going to do with the actual MOTB?
That's right.
Now he's telling you can't do this. In Wales now, you can't go out unless you've got the passport to show that you've got the juice. So, what are you doing with that itself? Yeah. So the fulfillment of it, the final piece, you know, the icing on the cake, you think he just don't faff around with it, man? You know, when it's time, when they make it mandatory, right? You see how with the juice, they made it like it was all gradual. Yeah. With that, it ain't gonna be no gradual thing, man. It's gonna be straight into it. Look, man, this is the new, the currencies, man, the BIS.
Yes.
You know, the fiat currency, you know, transferring over to that. If you ain't, you know, they're gonna control how much you can spend and what you can spend. That's total financial slavery, man.
That's right.
They like to talk about, oh yeah, financially free. You were never financially free in the first goddamn place, man. But now they're just putting it in your face. Like I said in the video, you want to buy 3 apples, okay, but the limit is 2.
Yeah.
You could have the fiat currency, but they're gonna tell you no, because you've maxed out your limit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a simulation, man.
Yeah.
So the final part of it now, like the hardware, is the actual MOTB, man.
Yeah.
So when it says in verse 16, he causeth, it's actually a cause, like, you have to get this, man.
Yeah.
That's where our faith is going to be tested. Because it's an actual thing where, like, your bank card ain't going to work. Because we've transitioned from that type of money system, man. Your cash ain't going to work no more, man. Your coins ain't going to work no more. Like when you look at, that's what the scripture says, there's no new thing under the sun. When you look at the Weimar Republic, alright, and the value of the Deutschmark, there was little kids, like, just burning notes, man. They'll get elastic bands, put the notes together and kick it around as football. Because the currency the notes had no value, man. So it's the exact same thing, the Weimar Republic, it's Germany and all that, like World War I and II. So when you check it now, right, it's going to be the same thing. Like, these days, if you lose your bank card, or if either might lose the bank card or something, even us, man, you kind of get worried. Because, oh man, my name's there, my name's there, the security code at the back. The first thing you go and do is jump on the phone to call your bank, cancel the card, you send me another one. In that day, guys going to be trading bank cards like it's nothing, man. Oh, you want some notes? Take them notes, man. You want £2 coins? Take them coins, man. Because it has no value. Everything's being transitioned to that fiat currency, man.
If I may add to your point, that's beautiful, because there's another thing as well. Most people, when they save their money, Esau's taught them to put their money in the bank. It's not like the old days where people keep money under their mattress and shit. Most people put their money in the bank. So let's say you've got, a substantial amount of money in the bank. When this whole financial system collapses, Esau is probably going to make, shall I use the word ultimatum? Where he says, look, okay, the old system's not working. We're going to give you a financial incentive to take this mark. So you'll be able to, the money that was in your account before the system collapsed, we'll give you all that back and a bonus if you take this thing. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, I don't know if it's going to go down like that, but I'm just putting it out there as a hypothesis, because a lot of people, if you've saved up your money all your life, right, and you're about to lose everything, most people aren't going to be prepared to take that kind of L. They're going to want to save their financial stability, so they'll be like, yeah, I'll take this chip, it seems like a good deal. Not seeing the spiritual implications of that decision. That's why the scripture says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. If you're attached to your money and all your material things, your nice home, your nice car, once Esau threatens to take all that away from you, you're gonna fold, man.
It's the same thing. Like I got fined like just over £100 that time when I didn't have a fucking mask on the way to work a couple months ago, man. So it's gonna be the same thing, right?
Where if you don't have it.
If you don't have it, and because Jake, man, you always find a way around the system, man. Like they said, hey, do a swab test. I run that shit under the tap, man. I ain't putting no swab in my mouth and sending my DNA off, man. Fuck that. Jake is a supplanter, man. So we always find a way, like, around the system. But guess what? And even there's certain Edomites that don't believe in this shit, man.
Wow. There's a lot of them, yeah.
A lot of them. But the point is that it's gonna get to the point where it's like, just like the mask, man. If you don't wear that, then there's a fine. Or you can't use the service no more. They actually took my ass off the bus, man. They're taking people off the bus and off the trains because they're not wearing the mask. How much more with the thing itself, man? Well, sir, you can't use this service. You can't go there. You can't go here. Where's that scripture? A man shall not be able to travel city to city.
A man shall desire to go to city and
you can't. Yeah, let's get that.
That's 2 Corinthians 15.
Yeah.
Like that's what's actually happening. So where it says he causeth, man, is that I keep stressing it. He's going to force it, man, because that's the final part of his new world order, man.
That's very true, and as well, I think I heard in Canada you can't get on trains or public transport unless you've got the surplus juice.
See?
So it's already starting. He's already laying the groundwork, and Esau's not going to scale this back. We always talk about, we can go back to normal. No, that's a fucking lie. There's never going to be going back to normal. They want their great reset, man.
Well, that's why they call it new normal.
New normal.
So they already told you before they got started doing it.
That's right, man.
Right, here's the one you called for, 2 Corinthians 15 verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
So and that's why, even though like we see it, everybody else just thinks is life as normal, as we were saying, because the basic amenities of life, they're still able to do.
Yeah.
You can still go to the shop and buy groceries. You can still hop on a bus and top up the Oyster card or use your bank card. All these minor things you can still do. But when these things start to be affected by the MOTB and by the surplus juice that's out there, that's when people gonna really start kicking it in, man.
Yeah.
You know, like the other day they had that fuel scare.
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck, man.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, what do you mean I can't go to my local petrol station and they ain't got fuel for me? Everybody's panicking.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the basic things of life, that's when society's gonna start panicking, man. I can't go to Sainsbury's and get the Tesco and all that stuff, man. That's when people gonna be like, oh shit, it's at my front door.
Yeah.
No, cause look, man, we get into it. So we will do the research on the banks, the BIS and the fiat currency and the world trade. We'll do all of that, man. But
CBDs.
CBDCs, yeah.
and all of that. But like these people, they don't care about that stuff, man. We know more than the average Edomite, man.
That's right.
They don't care. They only care about their immediate family, their kids going to school and coming home, you know, and paying the mortgage on time and stuff like that. They don't care. That's all they care about. But when it's, even Jake, but when it comes to the front door, that's when they go realize, oh shit.
Now the enemy's at the gate.
Like now, what them guys been talking about is true. Because we've been commenting on it from afar.
Yeah.
But when it starts coming to your front door, to the point where you can't get in the car and top up the fuel, that's where it's a problem now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So wait, hey, read it, man, read it. Come to it.
Second Ezra 15 again, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Salaki, that's why the scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Because even though it's not, you know, right in front of our faces right now, as it were, well it is, but it's still like, you know, we can still get around and stuff, man. We're still involved in the wisdom and knowledge, man. That's why when the time comes, we're going to be stable. And the scriptures say that we're going to basically stand out, because everybody's going to be bugging out, man. Like, and then there's these guys, they just calm. Like, how are you calm? And why are you so composed?
And if I may, a lot of those people who are going to be bugging out are the people who fell for the trap and took the serpent's juice.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't even, like you mentioned in the hydro guys, right? A lot of people don't know that's even in there because they're not looking on the alternative media to see it.